What I want to say is that there was nothing inside of his speech that was hate speech. So please pull up something that was hate speech.
The idea of questioning someone's IQ in general comes from where? The supposedly was it the eugenic studies, right? The eugenic studies.
Yeah.
What were the eugenic studies for?
Okay, so
to
again,
denigrate.
Content over everything.
Really, you're going like around like this.
I'm tackling the issue.
I understand. You're proving the fact that all of these things that he said can be refuted, have been refuted,
Not even being
historically and factually. And actually, right now that they're illegal, and the origin is in a very racist place. Yes. So what Kalam is saying, or the point that he's making, is from his perspective. When he heard it similar. You know, you was on the line when he played that gangster thing, where Jack Nicholson was saying that. What was it he said? About why I don't respect you for the M words because you have to go out and take it. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So exactly. So he was talking about that, innit? Right. And that's the so he's saying from where he took it from that place, he was taking it from a place of he believes Tan is saying this because he's reciting the eugenic studies. He believes Tan is saying it from a place of what I've seen observed in the world is this, and black people need to go out and do this. Now what I'm saying to you is, regardless of what Tan meant, because I have to believe that I don't agree with that. I think Tan was definitely trolling. That's my perspective. But regardless of that, what is the issue now between you two over that? Do you know what I mean?
So again,
what's the issue between you two now over that?
My question is, for something that's been refuted quite harshly, right? As a study in particular that misinterprets data. Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. As a study that misinterprets data, right? Completely has no credibility when it comes to citing certain studies that they're supposed to talk about. This IQ thing has been debunked and it's been classified as something that is used to hate on people of colour. And certain people have lost their jobs because they've cited this whole rhetoric because of that, right? Because of using that basically using that mentality, right? Has not allowed certain people to get certain jobs, certain education positions, and certain positions of power.
Yeah.
But you want this to continue?
No.
Despite it being refuted.
Exactly. Like you're complaining.
Everyone knows that.
No. You have the freedom to find it out.
You're complaining a lot of things.
You're not kids.
You're not kids.
The point is, what he's
Everybody has the freedom to find out.
No, I'm
everything,
so
why are
sorry.
you here
No,
then?
you have the freedom.
Why are you here?
You're defending freedom of speech and you don't even know what freedom of speech is.
Again,
No, but you're saying that we
what we're doing here is jumping from topic to topic.
It's not about defending about
I'll address you.
It's mad how I give everybody like the opportunity to speak.
No. Give me
the opportunity to speak.
No, that's fair enough. But if you don't want people to jump, tell them not to jump in. Tell them not to jump in. Let's keep it me and you.
All right, cool. So now, Tan inside of there, yes, he's not calling people low IQ. He didn't say that black people does have like low IQ. He's not saying that black people does have low IQ. Let me read. Hold on.
Yeah, no worries. I just want to point out that you do not come from an automatic standpoint that someone has low IQ.
Okay, cool. So let me continue. It says here, you know why people always say black people have low IQ? Question mark. Maybe because it's true. If nigger is a racist word, N-I-G-G-A, is a racist word, which may be an American thing, but somehow black people around the globe is so effing angry that they stopped everyone else from using it, but use it exclusively among themselves.
He called me a nigger and a
If
monkey.
that is not an example of low IQ, I don't know what it is. It's either we use the word collectively or stop using it entirely. It takes two to tango. You don't see me going around calling my people chink. Because half of the population in China can't even speak proper English. Hold on, let me finish the paragraph.
Perfect.
And they will probably think chink is an edible food. By the way, you know that kafir or kufar is a much more common racial slur against black people in Africa, right? Trevor Noah told me. Now, the whole point in there, of him saying all of this is saying, don't use the N word. I don't use the, the C word to label my community, right? The whole message is stop using it.
Okay.
That's what it is. It's an offensive word. It's a derogatory term. Don't
What about
call
monkey
yourself
then? What about
those
monkey? He uses
terms.
monkey too. And low IQ.
That is more
conversation.
He uses monkey and
So
low
hold
IQ.
on,
Forget the nigger word.
let me ask you a question now, Let me ask you a question. Is this hate speech?
It is hate speech.
Okay.
Yes.
Point out what exactly in there is hate speech.
And
Who has time to use the N-word? Who is time to use the N-word?
Yeah, of course.
Because from what I know, right,
Uh-huh.
when rappers use it and other black people use it, they use it because they have that same dynamic of history together, and they have that shared experience.
Okay.
They have the same shared experience of what? Being discriminated when they go for job application, when they go for education, when they go to certain avenues, right? They have that experience. So a lot of times it's an ironic use because we're not there anymore, but we're still kind of there, right? That's the difference when black people use it. So can you tell me what other race of people have gone through that same dynamic for them to be able or have the right to use that word?
Again, like you're absconding. The question was, what about this was hate speech?
You don't have to answer it. You can just say I have no answer.
You haven't answered my question.
Okay.
You've just now gone on like.
No worries. If we're gonna get specific about
Don't
The M-word was hate speech, yeah? The M-word was hate speech.
Give me 2 seconds.
I'm just trying to cut through it.
No worries. So I've just asked you, right? Which other group has been through that dynamic, right? To show that they are not using it from a place of they're not using it from they're not using it from a place of being condescending.
I beg you, Jedi. Tell them again. Make it shine, blood. Make it pop.
Can use it because they've been through a similar struggle that will never use it and it will be condescending. That will use it and will be condescending.
Are you telling me that what in the speech was hate speech? Just tell me that. Just I'm a very simple man, so I just need exact. What in the speech was hate speech?
Let man write that on your wall.
Let man write that on your wall.
When black people use it, right?
No. Just tell me what. Don't give me a whole explanation.
You
Just
don't
tell
want
me
the explanation.
what.
You don't want
No,
the
I just want to know
context.
what.
If you don't want the context,
I'm lost in the source. Trust me, I'm lost in the source.
Why are we-
A lot of people look at me like I'm this big
Really?
intellectual.
So
I'm
I
very
want to know
simple
as
man.
well.
We're trying to get to the conversation.
The conversation is basically if, right, Chinese people had been through the same struggle as black people, right? They would be able to use the word. They would have that same similar struggle. They would have that same similar kind of dynamic. But they haven't. So I'm asking Kalam, right? Which other group has been through the same significant dynamics for them to be able to use that word comfortably in that ironic sense? He hasn't given me an answer. He doesn't want to give me an answer. So I'll wait for the answer.
What's the general like? Where are you trying to get to with the whole conversation?
Maybe just ask him what in there.
Where are we trying to all get to with the conversation all together as a whole?
Say that again?
Where are we trying to get to all together as a whole?
Give me 2 seconds. Do you mind if I quickly? So you're not going to answer. You're not going to answer. You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer.
Brother, I'm actually now I'm getting frustrated. Yeah,
You're getting
I'm not
frustrated because
understanding
you don't want to answer.
I'm trying to understand you, my brother.
Really? You don't
Yes,
understand?
please. So can you tell me what in there was hate speech?
The use of the term nigger.
Okay, so
right?
the use of the term-
in his ethnicity.
Okay, so the use of the term nigger
in
is
his
hate speech.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
For him to use the word N-word
Yeah.
or nigger, whatever you want to say it, right?
Yeah.
Can you show me where he has significant similar struggles and dynamics to show that he's been discriminated? For him to use the word ironically, can you show me where?
So I don't know Tan's
Go on.
Okay.
Go on, no, go
Okay,
ahead.
sure.
So you're
Want me to
allowed,
continue?
you're allowed to
Continue?
get frustrated, but I'm
No,
not allowed to
continue.
show a bit of size.
You can do it. I'm saying, can I continue?
Sure, man, go
All right,
ahead.
perfect. So I don't know Tan's situation, and I very much so doubt that it's the same as
He
you know.
worked in the corporate world, so I'm not too sure where.
Okay, you know more than I do. I
I'm
don't
just saying
know.
you were promoting me on your show, so you should know.
Okay, I don't know about his circumstances. He's Chinese. He's been in Malaysia and so forth. I don't know what has impacted him in his own personal life, so I can't speak. Right? I doubt yet again that he's gone through the same thing as black people have gone through historically with the usage of the term.
Right? Came in 2008.
So
been to uni. Left his wife and kids in Malaysia.
No, take your time.
where was that guy? Where was that
Been in a
guy?
mental institution in Malaysia.
Sometimes you know.
Take your time,
Sometimes
bro.
you know
Have a
it.
conversation.
I know.
Government.
So as I was saying,
Can catch his 6
let me see if I can find myself, catch myself.
Take your time.
It's finding it's hard to catch myself when I'm hearing
I'm
this.
not
You
here
know.
to roast.
So
I'm not here to roast.
Yeah.
I'm here to pull you up. That's all it
Yeah.
is. So just take your time. Go ahead.
what was the question again?
The question was, right, we say it to each other because
Yeah.
we have that
There you go,
dynamic.
there you go,
And
there you
there's
go.
an ironic
There you go, the
say to
historical
it. Go on,
context.
go on.
Yeah,
There's
so
an
I
ironic
don't know about
historical
him
say.
like that,
Now for me,
and
yeah,
I very
go on.
much so doubt that he comes from the same thing, right? But the same way I personally, as I played on my channel, right, when somebody outside of my own race was using the N-word, it was very evocative, very provocative to me, right? But I'm not going to say that was hate speech. I understood the context. So it's like me, I'm going to ask you the question then, because I'm going to ask you the question like I asked everybody in the panel, right?
Yeah.
When Jack Nicholson said the N-word, right, in his speech, was that racial hatred? Was that being, you tell me.
The difference is this is a film. A
Okay.
film is often used.
Yep.
For why?
Yep. So a film is a piece of art, right?
It's a piece of art.
Piece
Yes.
of art to put across a message, right?
Man's
All
for
right?
life.
Now, even if you look at this, right, I look at this as a piece of art. The same way I would look at poetry and read this, right? It's like I'm reading poetry. I can see the message that you're trying to bring across. You're at the home of freedom of speech. You're at Speaker's Corner. The whole context lets me know, right? This is a message that you're trying to get across. You're trying to be provocative. It's not that you're trying to be racist. You see what I'm saying? In the same way as Jack Nicholson was not trying to be racist, but it was a message that he was trying to get across.
Now, the difference between Jack Nicholson and his character is that Jack Nicholson is an actor that has to produce lines. Now, unless you can prove to me that Tan is an actor, then unfortunately that's a false equivalence. Now, you have to prove to me in the movie, you have to prove to me that.
Technically, his website does say that, though.
So
Technically, his website does say.
Did Jack Nicholson's character in this film say the word with impunity, or did he get comeuppance for it in the film?
You tell me. I don't know.
You have to tell me which film it is.
I don't record it.
There's
It's
a
called The
party,
Departed.
we're
I
talking
don't
about
record that, no.
films, random
The
speech.
Departed. If we're talking about The Departed, he got his comeuppance for using the word.
The issue is
The point is,
I don't believe so. That
Guys,
there was nothing to do with racism like that in the film where he got his confidence. No, he didn't. In the film, as a character,
The Departed is
or
not
as
just,
or as an actor.
But The Departed is not just about racism towards black people, it's also about racism towards Irish people as well. If you know the film. Yes. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. And what did they say about Irish people as well? They called them the black what? The white N-word. So he got his comeuppance for being derogatory towards certain people just because of where they were from.
What do you mean he got his comeuppance?
He got comeuppance.
Like what? How?
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying,
I
but
can get back to you on that one. But yeah, let's catch
because what I'm trying to say is, let me cut through it. Because right now I'm trying to understand. You have an issue, right? You have an issue with Kalam, and you feel like Kalam was covering or protecting Tan. And so I'd say, right, the best or the easiest place you could have gone with that is Kalam. After Tan had said, "I'm a racist," why still did you stand behind him and defend him and say he's not a racist?
Okay. So again, I've always said I don't know if Tan is a racist, okay, or isn't a racist, right? I can't tell you. I can't go into his arm and tell you he is a racist or not racist. He also said in that same sentence, right? I'm a racist. I'm Hitler. I've been telling people this, and they still don't believe me. So it's either I accept both statements, or both statements are false. Why am I picking and choosing? What about his statement is now leading me to pick and choose to say he's racist, but he's not Hitler, or he's Hitler and he's not racist?
I should show you love every single time whenever I pass you.
Yeah, for sure.
Respect. I show love every single time. Even when I pass you the values, though.
look after yourself when you're around him, man.
Definitely.
Look after yourself when you're around him. People trying to attack him.
You've got brothers like you who does the intellectual talking. We've got can't talk, that's what it was in.
Don't worry, I want to do this.
The problem here, I believe, is the fact that you allow Tan to use racist slurs on science TV. For example, when you ask people to swear, to use certain terms, etc. I believe that's where the issue is.
I believe that's what it is.
So back to you. Let me just touch on like all your points.
Take your time, man. Take your time.
So basically, like a few people could say, I could say I'm a murderer. Do you believe I'm a murderer by me saying it?
I haven't seen any action. What I have seen is Tan say the word nigger, so I can say that he's a racist.
I hear you, right? But now, because a person uses a word, right, doesn't mean that they are racist. So, for example, there was a few people around me before, earlier on, different ethnicities, that said, when Tan used the N-word and actually said the N-word, am I going to say that person is racist now because they use the N-word? Or am I going to take into consideration the context of what they're trying to explain to me? So the same way that I took into consideration the context of what they were saying to me, I take into consideration what Tan was saying. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely, I understand. I understand in those contexts, I understand, cool, you can use the N-word because you're trying to explain something.
Yes.
But if you're standing on the park now and trying to say, black people
And not just that.
and stuff, or they're monkeys, then of course, then I can believe that.
So now Jedi has said Jedi said that he called him a monkey, right? I wasn't witness to it. I didn't see it, right? I'm going to take Jedi's word for it, but I'm actually going to investigate and see whether that is the truth, right? So far, if he said that, right? Like, come here,
once again. But
I'm not in no support of that. I'm in support of him having the right for his freedom of speech. But I will tell you, I disagree with what you're saying. You see what I'm saying?
But I mean, when it comes to like pulling his hair and calling him an N-word and a
But
monkey,
he never pulled he never pulled his hair, right? You have to. No, I was there. I saw, right? That never happened, right? There was a lot of pushing and pulling and then ways there. Even the women I saw being dragged back by their hair as well. see what I'm saying? I don't know who done that, but then I saw also Jedi being dragged back, right? So there's that going back and forth, but that's nothing to do with Tan himself, right? As a person, we can't put it on Tan that he dragged Jedi's here.
Okay. Well, I was seeing that as that, but fair enough. But do you feel like you should have been maybe quicker to condemn Tan? When he said clearly he's a racist, when he called Rajiv a low IQ M word, and when he said he was going to come down to the park,
remember, I didn't see that, right? So
he said he was going to come down to the park specifically and going to confront, as it were, gang.
Yeah.
And you know the kind of language he's using. Yeah. You can only see that this is only going to go one bad way.
Of course.
So don't you think you should do more to actually try and to dissuade someone like Tan from persisting with those attitudes, basically?
Dissuade him.
Dissuade him.
I don't know Tan like that, you know.
Okay,
right? I don't have his number, nothing like this, right? Like, it's funny because I've never given Tan the airtime, personally, right? Because
you don't deserve,
like, I like intellectual conversations, right? And I couldn't really find that from Tan, right? But I actually do respect his voice. You see what I'm saying? I respect his voice 100%, but I've never really given him that airtime for myself. I've never really listened to him. There's a few people that's here that's prominent speakers. I don't really listen to them. Cool. So it's not really my cup of tea. Do you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
Now, Muslims were the ones who were contacting me like, did you see what Tan did? No, you need to put Tan on. You need to do a show on Tan. Really? Like, you sure you want to discuss this? Let's do it. All right, cool. Done the show on Tan.
Do you mind if I jump in at some point, guys?
Hold on, yeah, definitely. Because Tan messages me, right? Yeah. I want to come on Tan's TV. I can show you the message right now.
Yeah, sure.
Cool, let's do this. We had a show, pre-show. Like, prior to that, I've never had a conversation with Tan. I never reached out to him. We've never had no back and forths. This is the first time that we really, had the most amount of interaction. So I don't really have no support or love for Tan in that respect, more than any other human being. You think what I'm saying? It's you guys that's giving him the attention.
I try not to give him no attention.
And I'm like, all right, cool, let me put him on.
100%.
We've done a show on him. It's only fair that he actually comes on the show and says his piece. The very first question I had to ask, man, is, based upon your speech, are you a racist? And then I could spot the first thing I did was bust out in laughter. I'm like, bro, I'm breaking character right now because I'm in my moderation hosting mode and I'm breaking character because I'm laughing because I can see what he's doing. To me, that was humor, that was funny, that was trolling, right? But everybody else, they couldn't see that. Yep, he said he's racist, therefore case closed, he's racist, let's walk away. In any case, hold on. In any court of law, right? If someone says I'm a murderer or I'm a rapist or whatever the case is, right? Like, that doesn't mean that they're a murderer or a rapist, right? There still needs to be
evidence
for and against, like, a nice legal proceedings to go ahead.
Well,
Not simply, that's it.
Confession sometimes.
But that wasn't a confession. Because my man said, I'm racist. And I'm Hitler. It's like saying I'm a monkey. I mean, it's like going to the zoo. I'm a monkey, and now people are coming to me saying that you're a monkey. All of it to me is funny. It's humorous. It's jokes.
Can we drop this whole thing about supposedly the collective is supposedly offended by Tan in particular? When we were on the show, who did I address? Did I address Tan or did I address yourself?
Yeah, you addressed me.
So I'm a little bit more disappointed in yourself rather than I am Tan. For me, it's nothing to be expected because the first time I met him, he tried it. I just moved and walked away. Simple as. And you will get the same response every single time. My problem is, like I've just demonstrated, using this form of language, using this hate speech, do you really feel comfortable with the precedent that is being set? In particular, we've had the same effect in the Muslim community. Hate speech, not even hate speech, hate crime is up around 275%.
So I don't view Tan's words as hate speech.
That's down to you, but the law does.
And if we're gonna say that, right, we're gonna say that all of these music that's coming out, right, with the N-word is now hate speech. We're also gonna say that all these concerts, hold on, all these white boys and white girls and Asian boys and girls who are singing along and saying nigga, they're all committing the crime of hate speech.
Brilliant. You cannot now, right, after you've asked me to give him the benefit of the doubt and go into the context and try to dismantle his context. That now you're saying, you know what, we're going to have a blunt rule for everyone, not taking the context into consideration. No, you're going to give me the same benefit of the doubt and the same respect. You're going to expect that there's context behind those laws. So even whether or not you want to say, oh, we want to ban the word, it will never be completely banned because the use is completely different. No. But your response right now was that there should be a blunt.
We should, as black people, we should not be using the word full stop. That's it. That's what I'm saying. We shouldn't be using the word against each other or towards each other to make other people think that it's even cool to even use it.
But the question is,
It's our fault. I'm tired of blaming everybody else. I would rather blame myself first.
That's brilliant. So you're telling me that we created the circumstances for any other race to call us nigger?
No, we created a circumstance here that other people feel comfortable with saying N-I-G-G-A. There is a difference. There's a subtle difference between E-R and G-A, right? Niggas in Paris. Everybody, hold on. That shit was popping. Even me, I slipped. As conscious I am, yeah, I'm there singing niggas in Paris. I'm like, shit, what's going on with me right now? Like, what's happening?
No,
like,
I absolutely agree with you. But the difference is, right?
Yeah.
Even if we take Tan's speech, right, into consideration, and we take the context in which he used the N-word in, he used the N-word. He used the N-word specifically because he knew what it was going to create publicity, a reaction. Why did he know it was going to create a reaction? Because the intention behind the word was to make everyone else feel offended that they would listen to his speech. So the intent already is negative. That's already hate speech in itself.
I don't think that's hate speech.
I'm sorry, guys. Read up hate speech. Read up hate speech.
We should talk about it, man.
It's about.
These two need to. These two are.
Give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds because one thing that really annoys me is the fact that everyone says they don't think. Go read them.
Okay,
read them.
so we can go and actually check it, right? So
ahead.
you actually have the Public Order Act of 1986, right?
And
it talks about racial hatred or racial hate or racial speech, which is fumes from hatred, right?
Yeah.
And it's to do with insultive, abusive, and threatening behavior as well, right? To me, Tan's intention was not that to be threatening or to be insultive in that respect. It was to be provocative, to get you guys to actually listen. It wasn't our place from malintent. You see what I'm saying? When I read, hold on. When I read it, it wasn't from a place of malintent. It was a place of I love you, I respect you, right? And I want you to do better. When I read, hold on. When I read this speech, we could all interpret it different. I'm telling you what I.
Guys, are we not taking this all a bit too?
No. Let the brother speak.
Are we not taking this all a bit too seriously? I don't know. I mean, maybe I've got the wrong end of the stick, but it seems a little bit like schoolyard squabbling. I'm like, oh my god, this guy said this. Oh my god, it's changed my whole life. Why the hell do we care so much? So can you but I understand.
Hold on.
Many things can be offensive.
But you choose white so-and-so, would you like?
I wouldn't care. I wouldn't care, man.
William, when has a playground squabble where someone has called someone a name led to an increase of 275% of hate?
Is that the only factor? So can that be the only factor? It's a mono factor.
So other people's safety does not concern you at all.
That's a conflation, and obviously that's not my stance.
It's
not what I'm saying.
But
So what do you want? Do you want Kalam to come and say it's hate speech? Would that make you happier?
If Kalam says it's hate speech or not, because I've read it.
Do you want Kalam to be more stronger to condemn people like Tam more?
What does it matter if you condemn it
Because
or not?
because these two, the whole conversation started because these two were having a conversation, bro. So I beg you, just chill for a second, yeah?
Sure.
These two are having these two are having a conversation, yeah? I'm just trying to get down to a resolution here between what it is you are trying to deal with, or what it is that you want Kalam or wanted to see from Kalam. Because what I wanted to see from Kalam personally was that he condemned Tan a lot quicker. Because from my opinion, Tan wasn't saying anything profound or anything anyone within the black community could have said that. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say. So what are you trying to get from Kalam? And once you resolve that, then we'll bring these brothers in because all of them are edging to get in the conversation, innit? So
okay, for me,
let's just deal with this and resolve it, innit?
For me personally, Kalam, I like you as a character.
Love you.
Right, well, for me personally, it doesn't matter if people call me
I think
anybody
you're well
names.
read, and I think there's more to come from you in particular. But at this stage and at this time and day where this whole kind of sensationalism of making points, getting views, getting talks gone out, there is a reason why these certain talking points were made into hate speech. And the reason is, and we're seeing it into fruition and materialization with the Islamic community, it is going to turn around and bite us in the butt. And I don't want to see that for anyone. No child, no kid, no woman walking down the street of color, that they get attacked because everyone is now comfortable with the word that was systematically used before to basically rob us of privileges that other people do have. So whether or not, right, you want to change your mind, I don't mind. But I'm going to make sure that every time these situations do happen, I will pull you up on it. Not on a personal note, but on a principle.
Yeah.
Because this is the same.
I half agree with you. I half agree with you. I'm in agreement with you that this shouldn't be comfortable amongst people outside of our race say it. I also don't think that it should be said inside of our own race. And I think that the problem doesn't lie with people outside. The problem lies with ourselves for allowing this to be the norm, right? we are the ones who created,
idea
you know, this terminology. It's not the others, right? It's us. Okay? You say the nigger NIGGA was other people that said it on us, but the NIGGA, we said it amongst ourselves.
It's not the word itself. Who originally come up with that word? It's not the word in itself.
Who originally come up with which
You
word?
can ban the word and who choose a different word.
One second.
So let me actually do that though, because it's quite. That's cute. That's cute though.
I think it is.
I personally don't know, right? But the earliest I actually heard the terminology being utilized was by Tupac, and I loved it, and I agreed with it, and I championed it. Okay, initially it was an acronym, meaning never ignorant, getting goals accomplished, and I loved it, right? But that meaning is completely lost and gone. You think what I'm saying? And people are just saying it now, blasé.
Absolutely. But the problem is, what I have to say is that there's people in our community already saying that. There's people already championing those voices. We don't need people from other communities telling us what to do because we're already doing it.
Yeah.
So the idea that Tan himself feels like he's special enough to come and tell us what to do, I'm sorry. Let me not get racist. Let me not get racist. But as someone in particular who comes from a demographic who feels like they need to make their own towns, in particular in certain cities because of the historical racism, hide in those towns. I don't need to hear that.
Okay.
I don't need to hear
So
that.
I would
in terms of Tan supposedly saying that, oh, this is what you can do, black community. No. Before I start looking into the Asian community, and I'm pretty certain I will find a few rats as well.
Yeah.
So stick to his own community, we'll stick to ours.
All right.
We're already doing this. These
right.
are not things that are not being
I
addressed.
think personally he has got a right to say the things he said.
Yeah, sure.
And I think it's even much more potent or powerful or impactful when other people outside of ourselves is actually saying it. Because people within inside of our own community, hold on, as you quite rightly say, people inside of our own community have been saying this here for how many years? But there has never been this amount of conversation on it. We haven't been speaking about it like this. To be honest with you, we haven't been
talking about what he's saying.
Hold on. We haven't
talking
been
about
reacting. Yeah, we haven't been reacting like the way that we've been reacting to Tan.
Yeah, I
and I think that for the people who actually have high IQ, should actually wake up and reflect upon it. But guess what? Guess what? People aren't moving like that. They're moving from a place of emotion. They care more about the usage of the N-word than the message that he actually had. And that's what's saddening to me as well.
No worries. The reason I have to disagree with that is because you say that we haven't really moved upon this word historically. Nation of Islam, does Louis Farrakhan not comment on these particular topics quite heavily? Okay. Right? And does he not have a massive black following?
Okay.
I'm much bigger.
Right now, I'm talking about us right here.
I understand.
Right here, right?
Okay, even if
I'm talking about the UK population, because we always like to go over to America.
No, that's fine.
Let's stay right here.
Even if we're talking about right here, we have movements here. We have Saturday schools which are teaching Pan-Africanism, and we have been talking about this topic for a good while. The only difference is we don't own the studios that are pushing forward this message and allowing it. Because as soon as give me 2 seconds. Give me 2 seconds. Because if then, like I think it was Ice Cube when he wanted to talk about the an Semitic point, he was censored. Quite rightfully, he was censored. So the idea that we're pushing this message out, sorry, no, you cannot tell me that because these are different people who are in control. So they select the artists that they want to get this out.
Beautiful.
They're not selecting artists like a color. They're not accepting.
That's beautiful. So why don't we now start our own stuff?
We are.
So once again,
you cannot say we are.
You two now cool, yeah? That's sorted out and everyone else can jump in. Yeah, I'm just making sure the issue's sorted out now because everybody really wants to jump in now. I know Will, you had something to say for a minute.
Can I quickly just the last point for me in particular. Again, when we're talking about the context of everything, let's apply the same the same mirror judgment across the board. The way it was used, it was in a negative way. It was to create publicity, it was to create attention because that word has such negative connotations. That is it. It wasn't in the same sense of, like you say, Tupac, never ignorant,
getting goals,
whatever. It was not in that same sense. So when people do use it in that sense, we need to pull them up. I'm not saying you have to, but I'm going to do it. Okay.
We have to as a community.
Well, let's expand it then. Yeah. Okay. So I haven't read this speech. So could you give me a summary?
It was so much time.
No, somebody you give me a.
It was
racist. What's his idea?
So it was very provocative. He was using a racial term.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
And his message throughout was to say, black people, fix up.
Right.
Black people, you're the strong people that you literally need to fix up. Right now, you're moving like low IQ individuals,
Right.
by the actions that you're doing on a daily basis, right? But you are better than that. Act better than that.
Right.
That was the whole message I received from it.
Okay.
But inside of it, it was very, very risky.
Okay.
Very risky.
Right.
ways.
Okay, cool. So, I mean, I don't know much about this Tan guy. I've never spoken to him. I've seen a few things. But it seems to me two things maybe are true. It's very obvious that the guy's a provocateur, however you say it.
Yeah,
Somebody trying
provocateur.
to... That's it, trying to provoke, right?
You gotta get that French in it. Provocateur.
Well, you get me, right?
Yeah.
It's very clear that it seems to me that's his intention. Either that or he's unhinged mentally. Somebody keeps telling me that. But who cares? In either way, if he's trying to provoke a reaction, he's doing an amazing job of it on all grounds for whatever this will result in. Now, Raj actually said something there that was interesting. Was talking about normalizing an insult or something, like getting people comfortable with saying things that could be considered insulting. That's an interesting point. It might be relevant, right? But I think in general, from what I've seen from him, if it's going to inspire people to discuss things more intently, it's possible that it might be of service. But here's another point. Again, this comes up every time I come to Speaker's Corner, is talking about people getting offended. When it's offence, you're choosing to be offended.
That's right.
You have to actively choose to. You disagree. Why?
Right. Continue.
You have to choose to. You have to choose to be offended.
That's right.
Okay, I will. So when things happen to you in life, you have to decide whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing. Something could happen. You might break your leg. You might stay in hospital. You might read a load of books. You might get gather more knowledge. You might get a different job. You might recover, become stronger. Somebody insults you. You can choose to react to it emotionally, or you can ignore it. Absolutely. You guys are shaking your head, but
Because
you can insult me right now.
No.
What effect will it have on me?
That's
right, no?
No.
I don't see where you said anything wrong.
Let's say if I slap someone in the face, right? If I slap someone in the face.
They could choose to be offended.
No.
They could choose
Wait,
to slap her.
if you slap someone in the face, right? Can you say to them, you can choose to feel pain?
It's completely different as words.
No, it's not.
Absolutely.
No, it's not. Because if someone makes an insult to you, right? Those reactions, a lot of the times, are unconditional. So the idea that you choose it's completely inconsistent.
I would say it's the
I'm
truth,
very
man.
sorry.
So we don't have hormones or chemical reactions.
What I mean is you can cultivate self-control of your own mind and emotion.
But you are still
Everybody has to
offended.
do that.
That's the problem.
I understand cultivate,
William,
but the word you used there was cultivate,
you have
right?
to-
It's a learned ability. It's a learned.
to that insult.
Right. So maybe you're right.
Yeah,
somebody
that's what it is,
could
but
be
it's not
true.
maybe I'm right. He meant to insult by using the
Right.
word nigger,
And-
but it's our reaction. Now we're publicising this guy,
Right.
and he's getting bigger.
Right.
Like as a black
But-
community, this is what we're doing right now. From him using that word. So we're just whatever he said is work now. We're all here talking about this guy. He's won.
Can I further just? Can I further just?
He hasn't. We've all lost because
Okay,
we're talking
yeah.
about him rather than talking about the concept.
I'm trying to talk about the
I
idea of
agree.
being
No,
offended.
but give me 2 seconds. You already just said you need to cultivate. What's it? I think you said
Emotional self-control.
emotional self-control.
Cultivation is action.
That's already implying that the emotion has happened, meaning that you have to rein it in.
Maybe
Which
you do.
already exactly.
Or maybe
That's
not.
fine. That's fine.
Or
But
maybe not.
you are already offended anyway.
No,
so
you're
the
not.
fact that offense.
No, you can't say you haven't taken offence.
I had the man them. Listen, I had the man
Where's
them here
offense? What's
calling me
offense?
pussy. I'm like, okay.
And there was no
But you
negative
haven't
feeling
experienced
whatsoever.
oppression like black people have experienced oppression.
Callum.
So your opinion on it's going to be different.
I would say that you don't know anything about me, man, so it's hard to say that.
No, I can know
it's
it's facts.
Is it?
You've experienced oppression like black people experience.
Who knows?
If I'm wrong, I'm gonna show it. Right? I don't want to put on this front. I don't want to put on this front. I don't want to put on this front.
I'm trying to say,
It's a different type of oppression, but it's not the same as ours. It's black.
I think if we focus on oppression, we're going to go nowhere, man.
There's another way you can address other people with intellect. Being offended is not a problem if you have the tools to address it. So this idea that, you don't have to be offended.
No, you don't.
Well,
then let me engage with my point.
No, it's true you don't, but you can, and you can put
Is-
action towards it as
Is
well.
pain a choice? Is pain a choice?
It's not to do with pain, man.
It is pain.
So if somebody throws punches
can
or
be a
throws
choice.
insults, there's no difference in your
somebody
mind.
can only make the choices that they know that are there to them, right? So the choices that are laid out in front of you are the choices that you
I
are
was a
going
sick
to
child.
make, right?
I was a sick child. and I
choose what
forced
you do.
myself to do
Yeah, okay, so the choice, but you
really
can
know.
choose out of the options you have though. If there's not an option to
Until
do
I'm
something, you
mastered
can't choose that, can you? There's no option for it, right? Some comes when you chocolate and vanilla,
Until the beatings,
right?
yeah, of
And I
your
say, no, I
mother,
want
yeah,
strawberry.
no, no,
It's not a choice,
Well,
yeah?
you realise there.
I don't know your
that
point.
You need to,
The point
you
I'm
need to
trying
learn
to
how
make
to
to
cry.
you is that
so
certain
that you
people
won't
at
be
certain stages or places in their life,
I can't get on me hanging like that.
basis, only have certain
Hey,
options
you know
or
when you- I know
tools
it's
which they rely on to get
into fights now.
Yeah?
It doesn't even
So while you're saying offense is something that we could choose to do,
is.
that might be a place from somebody like me or you who is in a place where our cognitive faculties are there. Like you said, it's something about cultivation, right? But cultivation itself implicates in me, it takes time, it takes learning, it takes, you have to center yourself
being
to
in
get that.
control of your own life.
However, there's a lot of people, like you just said, who aren't in control of their own life, have never been in control of their own life, and all they have known in their own life is, as far as they could see, oppression. So what their tools that they usually rely on are different to yours. Their tools is, when I feel someone who is not just offending me, but I feel being disrespectful, because that's what the thing is, right? There's a difference between offense and disrespectful, because someone call me an N-word isn't going to make me feel offended. But someone call me an M-word, giving me a knowing that they're actually trying to do something to me, will make me feel disrespected, or make me see this person has little respect for me.
But it's not your reaction.
You have to let me speak, bro. Please.
Go for it.
Alright, cool. So when someone comes up to me and I feel disrespected, and the tool that I've grown up with, is to react when someone disrespects you with this tool of aggression, or react to it to say, if you're going to disrespect me, I'm going to show you cannot disrespect me ever again.
Right.
Yeah? Then that is the option or the choice that they have. Do you know what I mean? So it's all nice and good. You can't telling people here, oh, you have to choose what makes offended you. You have to choose what offends you.
I think it's
reasonable. Maybe what you need to do actually is get to know people, understand their situation and their circumstances, and wait. Because like you said, it takes cultivation. Like when you're cultivating flowers, that takes time. You can't just say tomorrow you're going to be cultivating.
Oh no, I agree.
All right.
I agree.
Okay. So when we're telling people they have to choose how what their thing is, maybe we need to get into the underlying of their life and where they come from, so why they're relying on certain tools, or why they might be more triggered by certain things than others. Okay. Maybe if you come from a perspective of understanding, you might get a better response from someone like me, rather than me coming to you with this aggression, because I feel like you're coming here with a condescending kind of, let me tell you what you need to do.
I think you've
Don't
got the
get
wrong
offended.
end of the stick.
No, I got the very right end of the stick, because you came here and said, you could choose to be offended. Why are you getting offended? You didn't hear the whole question. You made my man even reread the whole speech, and we ain't even trying to talk about that. We're just trying to resolve an issue between these two. Do you understand? So I feel like you're coming with a lot of assumptions rather than coming to trying to understand.
And can I quickly just jump in as well? I want to, because I bring up this point all the time to free speech extremists all the time, because they'll never be able to answer it. Would you be comfortable, and would you say the same thing about offense, right? That it's someone's decision to get offended. If someone came to the park today and depicted, right, started drawing a nice little sketch of child pornography, would you say that it's our choice to get offended at that?
Is that speech?
It is speech and expression, yes.
It's expression. Okay. So
would you like me to analyze why it's speech as well? Because under freedom of speech, it's whatever is written, drawn, or through any other medium. That's under the speech. So semantics over. Please answer the question.
Okay, cool. So we're coming at it from the wrong angle. One thing about for you here, I want to correct you on it. I'm not wanting to come at you telling you what to do or come with assumptions and not take into account these things. That's not my attitude at all. I hope we don't know each other, right? But I mean, if you've seen me speaking to other people, I very rarely have ever come at it like that. So I'm not here to cause offence. Maybe you misinterpreted my tone or whatever, right? Sure, these things take time to develop, and they can't just be assumed. That's right. I still stand by what I said as it being the better way of doing things, not the easier way of doing things, right? And it doesn't mean I'm justifying the guy saying that. I don't think the guy's a good guy, man. I don't think him saying that is doing anything constructive.
So could it be possible that we didn't take offence to what the guy said, but we still have an issue with him saying what he said in the first place?
Okay.
Because we find it disrespectful.
Are you saying that?
Something that he shouldn't be saying.
Because should we just accept it and leave it? Is that what your point was?
Well,
we can choose to take offence or not.
Okay.
So whenever someone uses the word nigger, we should just ignore it and accept it.
Right, no, it's a good point. It's a good reaction.
I'm just asking.
It's a good point.
Because by what you were saying, that was the logic.
No, I'll answer you.
No, go on.
Right, no, so it's a good point. So if people keep saying stuff that's offensive to you again and again and again, it becomes a societal norm, then maybe that becomes a major issue, right?
Exactly.
But you know that this guy's a whatever. He's trying to provoke, right? And I don't take him seriously. And I hope maybe you guys you shouldn't take him seriously.
Talk about him no more.
Right, exactly, right?
This is the problem. So no one has taken him seriously, and I'm still waiting for an answer for my question. No one has taken him seriously. People can keep talking about how he had his speech. I don't know if you saw, but the circle was pretty small. No one was there. None of us were there until Jedi got himself attacked. No one was there, and then as soon as something bounced, everyone came. So the idea that Tan is being taken seriously, move, man. That's not even a speaking point.
Jedi was attacked.
now. We're having such a serious discussion.
100%.
Like, giving him attention.
But the thing is, I do have to say,
we was just, like I said, we was just having a discussion between Jedi and, Kalam and Rajiv, because they had a situation on a live midweek and they were trying to discuss. And again, then we had a whole crowd come around us who interpreted the conversation to be something that it wasn't, where it was two people just trying to sort out their differences. And once we resolved that,
if you watch the conversations back and forth, we talk about the actual points. We don't talk about Tan as an individual. I don't give a shit about Tan, right? I've seen his beta male type before. It's nothing new. It will come around again. But in the sense of
here's the situation.
no one is taking him seriously.
I understand when you say when people disrespect you,
fallout from his speech has to be addressed because there's certain people that have them. When we find out that everyone's
I mean, we don't know each other at all. I come from the same environment, man. I come from, and I've had to control, like seriously, man, I've had to really control my anger over the years. I've had to really work on it. And I've read books of Stoic philosophy.
But there's no point talking about it if there's no action.
Where I had a lot of bad things going on around me, a lot of people fucked with me, and it caused a lot of problems and a lot of violence. And I had to learn to control that because my first response
was like that. Just in the sense that I've already filed a police report. I don't give a shit.
I don't
think
think it's too much on camera.
If someone is breaking the law, you put it to the authorities because next time when something does happen, the authorities then have proof, right? Or we have proof to say that we submitted something for you to take action. So then when something happens, right?
And we're talking
the police for me wouldn't do nothing. I don't deal with the police.
I understand.
But what I'm saying is, the reason I don't deal with the police is because they're part of a community, a society that oppresses our nation. So I don't deal with them. If my friend here robbed me, I'd rather deal with it with him because I know he doesn't deal with the police and I don't deal with the police. We have critical thinking skills and to deal with that situation ourselves. Once you involve the police, we know that it's going to oppress one of us.
No, I understand.
Do you get what I'm saying?
I understand that, but the thing is, the problem is kind of like
I
Grenfell.
understand, I'm down with it. There's a better way to react.
Grenfell wasn't significant because people died, right?
I think it
was messed up. But the significant bit is that those people had to report before the event even happened. Meaning that the people at the top can now take responsibility because they had the warnings beforehand. It's about taking the issue.
But the people at the top are why we're here. So why are we whinging to them if we're still here? We have to take action.
Because they have the responsibility to look after the society.
So we have the responsibility to do it ourselves.
Hear me out. What I'm trying to say is, they, like you said, they don't look after us, right? But legally, they have the responsibility to do so. If we put the reports, right, to show that we basically raised the concern with them, right, and they did nothing about it. When it comes to the time that something happens, we will then be able to show these reports and be like, they didn't do anything, and they will be legally liable for charges. That is the main thing.
Okay, so who's legally liable and who's going to jail for Grenfell?
For Grenfell? Yeah. They're getting it.
But who's going to jail? If someone goes to jail for it, because I don't believe anyone's going to actually go to jail for it.
For me personally, I genuinely have faith.
Because it's the system that built.
No, absolutely. But I have faith generally that, because now, they've skipped the whole kind of like menial, they've got past the, because it's a long process obviously, it's court, but they've got past the police officers, they've got past the firemen.
Rasper and him are approaching Callum now, innit?
Come take over everything from your melody. Man, say it straight. Man, don't listen to BBC. Man, don't listen to ITV.
The only fair thing to do next is to have you on. Other than that, I would have no reason to have Tan on. Everybody else wanted Tan on, so Tan came on. But now, blame Callum. It's all Callum's fault. I know.
I went past talking all the things, but I giggling.
But hold on.
It's all right.
Mr. Rax. COE, all the other channels. Hold on.
Yeah, see, man, I'm on the clock today, no? Don't get it twisted, you know? No, it's